I have not been streaming lately because I have spent more than 100 hours grinding on the new SAO game, which is probably one of the worst RPGs I've ever played. But I bought it because it had co-op, and then I never played the co-op. So, upset with myself, just a little bit. Slightly wish for death. What else? That awful RPG, which, by the way, it's SAO Alicization, which is its own thing. There's a character that's introduced and it's just the worst. Like, the secret ending didn't even get introduced to like a couple months after the game released. There's no current DLC out for it. The level cap used to be 50. It's just so grindy, so garbage. You just don't level up correctly like when you play an actual RPG. The affinity is lackluster with relationships with characters. Like, I didn't even do it, and I do it in every SAO, even with the dudes. Which tells you how good the friend levels and shit like that are. But that game, it was just bare bones everything. It was just dog shit. And then I looked at the achievements, and there's like no achievements for any of the special monsters or anything like that. So there's like no real reason to do it, because I would have had to grind 30 more levels, and I only got like 50 in 100 hours. I'm not wasting more than a day on it. I was like, I'm gonna load this up. And I didn't realize it started the starting cutscene. He got a rag, or caught it while he was up in a tree. He basically was orphaned like Moses after he was born a prince, I believe, and then his mom ran away, and I think she got killed, and then his sister ran away. It looked like she got killed, but he got thrown into the river to be saved, and this old man found him, so now you're caught up. This is also
Trust
a
me
game
to lose my
made
headscarf just before the big ceremony.
Love the voice acting. I actually really love the voice acting. Love her voice. So basically, the Dragon Quest RPGs are made by the same, or not so much the studio. They are animated by the same person who made the Dragon Ball Z, and he also made, or he's not the creator, but he's like the one who does the animation. Chrono Trigger, I believe, is the other one. So basically, this game is a remaster of an old game, which was top-down 2D Final Fantasy-esque. I think I've played like one of the Dragon Quest. I don't remember anything about it. I don't think I ever beat it because I was a kid and I was dumb. So you can choose to continue to replay a better version of the original, or you can play the game in 3D. So I'm playing the game in 3D because I want a really good RPG. He looks like Trunks.
So it's finally here, the big day.
He's a cute dog.
Looks like Sandy's keen to lead the way. Come on, best not keep her...
I love your voice actor. Ooh. Wow, just right into the game, eh? Okay, so X opens my map. E is to jump. What? Wait, what? Interesting. Woof, woof. Little boy all grown up. Heaven, you and my dear Gemma. So this is like their coming of rights ceremony. Woof, woof. You look weird. Oh look, religion in my video games. Oh my god, the SAO game had so much like religion in it. It was stupid, but it was a world bound on like a religion that was basically a game system,
Humble folk
which
of
has the potential to be
Cobblestone,
cool, but it was just
great
so
land
stupid.
spirits, hearth
It was
and
basically
home. That's
you
how
have
it
to
goes,
do
isn't it?
everything because it is set in stone. It's a religion without a choice.
My granddad's been teaching me the prayer ever since I was little. He reckons the spirit of the land really does live on Cobblestone Tor, you see. As long as I can remember, he's been preparing me for this day. The day it would finally be my turn to climb all the way up. I just wonder whose idea it was in the first place.
Okay,
sending the village's young folk
that's
on
gonna
such
piss
a
me off.
dangerous errand. What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
So if you touch any of the analog sticks while they're talking, you will just skip it. So I basically have to like let go of my controller, hold it with 4 fingers, and tap it. That's a little annoying. Sure,
Well, not to worry. Since you and me were born on the same day, I'm lucky enough to have a bodyguard along for the journey. Come on then. That craggy old thing went... Oh,
Ooh, first monsters. Oh, this game is famous for its slimes,
monsters!
especially because they're just adorable, but they're supposed to be scary in that world. But like you never take them seriously. There's actually a Dragon Quest game they made. I believe it was only for the Switch, where you could it was like Dragon Quest plus Minecraft. It was actually a really cool idea. I always wanted to play that. I haven't gotten the chance yet. No, but there's those enemies, and then there's just like some big motherfuckers. But they all kind of have like all the like monster enemies kind of have like the retarded dinosaur face. Like even the dog kind of has the retarded dinosaur face from Dragon Ball Z. But like just the animation style of this game is so neat, and like, but that character is a carbon copy of fucking Trunks, and you can't tell me he isn't. I'm a little upset that your character doesn't talk. I mean, yeah, RPGs do that, but they remastered it. They might as well have given your character some dialogue. What else? We'll see how well this plays. Oh, I was going to say, the slimes are like a meme now, but they're also funny because there's like a brothels in these games, but like it's revealed to you in like one of the later games that every time like girls were supposedly touching you with their boobs, call them like their pum pums or whatever, they were actually just touching you with slimes that they had tamed, pressed
They're
together.
coming this way!
Wait, is it all turn-based?
Watch out!
It's turn-based.
Crikey! Fight, and fight some more!
Slime Bee is paralyzed with
Get
fear.
him!
And I'll go for Slime Bee.
Crumbs!
A little upset that it's
Go
turn-based.
on! You can do it! Go on! Crikey! Fight, and fight some more!
Slime Bee's paralyzed.
Get him!
I love the dog barking at him.
Tough little blighters, aren't they?
6 experience, 6 gold coins, Slime Bros treasure chest. That's cool.
Crikey!
Okay, so it's
I wasn't
old-fashioned-y,
expecting that.
but I kind of
I
like
know
it.
they were only little, but I'd have been done for if you And now we've got to go through that horrible, dingy cave. Just our luck. I'll bet you anything that's where those awful things came from. Well, as long as you're with me, I've got nothing to worry about. Come on, let's get going.
I'm gonna move my stream broadcast bar, so give me 1 second. It's all over where my HP and my SP is. Or my MP, I forgot it is in this game. For now, I will put them at the center top until that becomes an issue. Good, 1 sec. Okay, X. Map, Y, item. Okay, after one more fight, I'll probably use that to be the most efficient. What is up here? Blah 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 dialogue. Honestly, the joystick thing is actually really neat because like things where you tap A and as you tap A as it completes, it puts you back into it. That just happened to me, so instead I exited it with the joystick. So that is actually kind of cool. This game's pretty for a simplistic art style. Simplistic but neat. I'm also streaming this on Windows. It's a balance act. Or do I not actually have to balance? Okay, that's a little disappointing, but at least they put time and effort in the animation. Okay. So my two options: go left where I'm supposed to, close to a monster, just above them. Press A and you give them a weighty wallop with your weapon. Yeah, real weighty wallop. Like 1 damage. Oh, well, he's dead.
Go on! You can do it!
Sandy doesn't have a health bar. I'm fairly certain that that is the old noise from the original games. Oh, there's an actual animation for it. Sorry, Sandy, I want to check over here real quick. Ooh, discovery. Medicinal herb. I already like this game a million times better than SAO. Alicization. You know what's funny? The Gun Gale one was really good. The co-op was interesting. They should have allowed you to play co-op during the story mode and then the open world. I'm a bit disappointed at that. At least this one did that, but like, it's such a shitty game.
Don't give up! Get him! Tough little blighters, aren't they?
I just noticed something. There's no way to save this game. And she just healed me? I want to check something. I still have 2 medicinal herbs. She's a safety cap, and that's a partner that can't die. They're basically allowing me to get through this with the most ease, so that way it's like, here you go.
Go on!
Hopefully the luck is man, Sandy's coming.
Get him!
It's paralyzed with fear.
You can do it! Go on! Well done!
Oh, I leveled up. Charm. Oh, I got a spell. Interesting. I'll grind outside here because the slimes really don't give me much XP. Not a viable. What the fuck? That's a different monster. Not these 2 slimes in front of it, but it looks like a bunny in the background.
Get him! Crumbs! Fight, and fight some more! Go on!
What did you just say of a battle untold? Oh, chest. Slime drop.
Get him! Crikey! Fight, and fight some more!
Oh, she worryingly watches the battle unfold. What's the item? Yeah, what the hell is this thing? Oh, it might not be a rabbit. Are those thread needles? Why are they so big? They're like sheep with thread needles. They're like tiki people.
Fight, and fight.
It's funny, they just
more.
healed one of them for like 30.
Go on,
But they don't. They die after taking.
go on. You can do it. Get him. Phew.
That's an enemy. If it didn't give the handicap and give me a partner that could paralyze them in the beginning, that enemy could probably fuck me up. With how much they can heal each other. Thank goodness they don't have a whole lot of. What the hell's over here then? What? Oh,
It's
you
just
can
a
break
thought
pots.
that.
What the fuck? Let me break the pot. Ah, it won't let me swim. Got it. Got it. Woof woof, got it, dog. What's this? Shiny. Chunk of copper. Is there a crafting system in this? Can you craft things? Because the crafting system in SAO had so much potential because you could level up alchemy and all that shit, and in the end I never used, like, I leveled it up a fuck ton and I like got items and it seemed really cool, and then it's just lackluster in the end. Honestly, it is.
Fight, and fight some more. Get him. Crikey.
Wait, he's called a needler?
Don't give up.
That makes sense, that is a sewing needle.
Go on.
But you just keep killing me. Interesting. A crafting system with weapons and armor customization would be really nice. I hope they add it. It's funny because the SAO game sucked so bad. They added a free
Look at all
DLC
this fog.
they didn't even completely
Is
finish.
this normal, do you think?
But basically, it focuses on Xenon, and in this, because the DLC little introduction was so small and tiny, instead of having like the stand plates, like the pictures of the enemy characters that don't move but they talk, the lazy shit they do in a lot of the SAO games, they actually move around and shit in the background, kind of more similar to the Tales games. Which makes me laugh my ass off because they put more effort into that. So it's like they didn't put any effort into the fucking main game because they could have done that through all of it. But in that, no, they took time and effort into it. This though,
Help!
this is a fucking
Help me!
masterpiece.
What? Cole?
Pretty sure the same people who make Ni no Kuni might all. No, Ni no Kuni isn't the same animator because Ni no Kuni is from the Japanese animator that's like really famous. Never mind, that was a misconception. Just because some of the characters had similar names. Are there two of them? Ah.
It's not fog at all. It's more monsters.
They're called smogs. I wrote a spell. Let's see what this does. Riz.
Go on. You can do it.
Oh, I can only hurt them with spells.
Fight, and fight some more. Go on.
Maybe not. Maybe now that it's
Here you
paralyzed, I
go.
can attack it.
Crikey. Don't give up.
Let's see, it's paralyzed.
Get
Let's
him.
see. So when it's paralyzed, I can hit it.
Fight, and fight some more. Go on. proud of you.
I leveled up again.
I'm sorry, Gemma. I only came up here because I thought it'd be... But then those monsters appeared.
What in the world is going on? I never heard anything about monsters appearing on the tour before. But never mind that now. Whatever were you thinking? You could have been killed.
Yes, Gemma.
You saved my bacon again. I knew you were tough, but crikey, you really have grown into quite the hero.
It's weird that you
Not
didn't
far to
start
the
out
top
knowing
now.
spells. You apparently just learn them as you go through the game. That's at least neat, because SAO did this thing
Typical.
where it's like,
It would have to go and
hey,
start
when you level up, you
raining,
get
wouldn't
skills.
it?
You
Come
unlock
on,
skill trees.
let's get a move on.
They're locked in the Alicization game by fucking statues you have to find and meet requirements. So they're fucking annoying. And then you'll forget what statue it is, because there's a billion statues. Not only are the statues on the map marked the same, there are 3 different statues that all the same marking. The only give or tell is usually that they don't have a name, but if you accept a quest from a statue, because there are quests, there are the ones that give you new spells, and there are the ones that give you the new skill trees. All 3 of them are marked the same on the map, and the spells and the skill trees don't have names. But if you accept a quest from any statue, it won't also have a name. So it's very fucking confusing. I had to end up looking up a guide for like the last 1/4 of it. Let me stroll around over here. No? I feel like I'm about to find a boss. I did. I had a little bit of more trouble than it should have been. I walked towards it and pressed A. Apparently it's super specific. Watch your step. Plug the wall. Got it. I'm curious. So there's a storm. Oh, this better just be a thing because of the storm. This better not be a way of like, you're high up and they did the storm so that way they don't have to render everything in the background. Because that's the thing games do, and that shit annoys me. Like the deal where like they'll do a long hallway while you're moving, so that way it can load in the shit in the background. You can't just tap A to do shit. You have to like be very specific about it. That's gonna get a little annoying. I get it. It's like, oh no, you're too far away. It's just letting you know you can interact with it. But like, the fact that it gives me an error message or like, you have to be closer to it to interact with it. It's kind of annoying. Boss. It's gonna be a boss. It's gonna be a boss unless the Smogs were a boss.
Shame about the weather. Well, we better say the prayer and get this ceremony over with it. What?
Is she gonna get scorched up? That is an ugly bird. Oh, so your character actually makes grunting noises, so he's more like Link. Oh, come on, I didn't get to fight it. Even though it was a dorky looking bird.
We're alive.
A lot of the enemies in this look a little dorky. I know that there's like a super boss at the end of this. There's apparently like a big motherfucker, but it doesn't
great
look
big
dorky.
flash of lightning. Look! Huh? Oh, it stopped. All I know is that you saved me yet again. Now, we really had better be finishing up this ceremony. Humble folk of Cobblestone, great lift your voices up in prayer. Blessed are we since days of yore.
So they're gonna render it in a cutscene now. I fucking see you.
Wow!
I fucking
Look.
see you. You slimy motherfuckers. You did this shit on purpose. You're not gonna give me that. See, when I was a kid, I would have been like, oh, this is so cool, and the world is so pretty. And yes, on a storytelling sense, it does make sense that they did this. But I get the
It just goes
feeling
on
they just
and
didn't
on and
want to
on.
render after a certain distance.
Whoever dreamed up this ceremony must have had this in mind.
Because I'm pretty sure this game
They
is
wanted
like
to show
section
us
by
how
section, so I don't think you
huge
can
our
view it
world
from up
really
top.
is. Well, that's it. It's all over. They'll all be waiting for us.
I just want like another bird to swoop down so I can fight it. I am not satisfied with the lack of. Ooh, shiny. Piece of pink pine, like pink tree pine. Oh, at least you didn't make me run back through the entire thing. You know what? I'll give you credit. I will give you credit. How far is this bridge distance? I see the smog. There's not a large distancing. Woof woof. Goddamn throw. I want that dog to be my partner in the game. Just you can have a dog in your team and it'll just terrify enemies for you. That'd be so if you used it on like the final boss, or like a god or a dragon or something, just like woof woof. Then in the dragon's head, it's just like, oh shit.
We're back safe and sound.
Indeed you are, my dear. Thank the spirits for that. When we saw lightning striking up there, we got a little worried, I have to tell you.
He doesn't have voice lines. It just tells them what you do or say.
Well, I never. Sounds like it. Well, there's no doubt about it. Now tell me, my dear.
It was wonderful. I saw this.
You're true Cobblestonians now. Only you're still young. And the day may... I hope our little ceremony has opened your eye. Now, it's high time we were heading back. I'm sure your mother is eager to hear how things went, young man. Don't keep poor Amber in suspense.
Come on, you.
If you're ever at a loss about anything, open the menu, select miscellaneous, and take a look at the traveler's tips. I wonder if they have tips on the best way to fight enemies. You know, I think I was getting tips on monsters after I beat them, so that's interesting. It's essentially like a bestiary from The Witcher. Awarded for ascending the top of Cobblestone. Coming of age. Oh, it tells me in the game when I get achievements. It doesn't just pop them up. I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly don't. It's actually kind of neat that the game interacts with you about it. They're like, hey, you did this achievement. That's actually kind of cool. Cancel. Wait, there's auto run? Ugh, it's so funky. I don't want religion in my game. Oh. Your home doesn't have a symbol? It's kind of dumb. Normal left. Oh, look, the dog. Wait, do they live in the same house? I'm talking about an anime plot. Gonna get himself a harem. That blonde bitch is really hard. God, I accidentally act. Oof. A lot of interesting features.
Ooh.
Execution.
Here's
little
my
sloppy.
little soldier. I hope he wasn't too much of a bother, Gemma dear.
Quite the opposite, in fact. We got attacked by a monster at the top of the tower, and But you'll never guess what happened next.
What did you say? That funny little mark? Lightning flying about the place? Here I was hoping he'd turn out nice and ordinary, but it seems it... Well, I've been putting this off for long enough now. Here.
You're adopted.
Your
What the
grandfather
fuck is
asked
that?
me to give you it once you... The truth is, there's something I... It's... How can I... You're the reincarnation of the luminary.
What?
Wait, in all these games, are you the reincarnation of the Luminary, or is it just in this one? Because that's actually kind of cool. But it's also straight ripping off Zelda.
Oh, don't ask me what the old fool meant, dear. I haven't got the foggiest. All I know is that your grandfather, he said that when you came of age, you were to head north to the capital, up there in Heliodor, and show that. He seemed to think that if you did that, all would become... Anyway, the long and short of it is that if you want to find out what this is all about, you'll have...
Crikey.
Well, I can't stop you leaving, I'm sure, but you won't be
She a big bitch. Shiva, are you a big bitch? I have a spare pillow now, so I put it on the floor, and now my dog uses it. She's wagging her tail. She's a wagging tails. She likes to lay on the pillow so much. When she gets happy, she just wags her tail. But she doesn't want to move because it's too comfy. My dog is a fucking pillow. God, you're fat. That's a big bitch. So she told me to take a hike. And not in the insult way. The little girl, well, she's of age now. Now she's probably gonna run into me and be like, there's gonna be some sentimental cutscene. Or is he just gonna run off in the middle of the night? I'm confused. Oh, it's not gonna let me, is it? I have a sword. Well, you can find chests. That's cool. Not even gonna lie. I missed the day of like finding chests in game like Zelda. You know what's funny though? I'm not a big Zelda fan. Zelda's okay. I honestly liked a lot of the 2D Zeldas, but the top-down 2Ds. I think the one on the Super Nintendo, was it? I can't remember what's the name of that one. Maybe I don't want to go for an evening stroll? Confused.
Oh, can't sleep either, eh? You remember this tree? I got my scarf stuck in it all those years ago. There I was. You know, I always imagined with. That's why I was so surprised by what your mum said today. I remember the story once upon a time, long, long ago, when it was all over, the luminary turned into a star, and he's been watching over us from up in the heavens ever since.
This is Dragon Quest VI, and there's only one star.
That's his star, right there. How can you be the luminary too? I just don't get it.
I'm gonna look this up. Oh, this isn't Dragon Quest 1. This is Dragon Quest 11.
I know.
Huh.
That's what you're going to Heliodor to find out.
Maybe this
I
isn't a
understand, really, I
remaster,
do.
but they just have a 2D mode for shits and giggles.
Listen, we should both be getting back. Goodbye, old friend.
Then morning comes. Everybody's gonna die, aren't they? I feel like this game's cutesy, but at a cost.
Well, just look at you. You don't scrub up too bad, you know. Only wish your grandfather were here to see you.
Oh, so he fucking dead. Grandpa dead.
You won't forget him, will you? He was a fine, well, however you turn out, I'm sure you'll find a way to overcome whatever lies ahead. A mother knows these things. Oh, by the way, I've popped a little money I'd saved for a rainy day in your pack. Why don't you visit the village shop before you head off to Heliodor? But don't take too long. The whole...
Man, those are some... His outfit both matches and doesn't. The bright purple and the bright green, but it matches his bag. It tries to blend together well. It does not. It both does and doesn't. It's so confusing. Nani the pizza. Fucking auto run. So it's gonna make. Oh wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is that a quest? Is that a quest? Over his name says. It's a little faint because I'm at the back of my room. Says quest. roof of my shed. The people's friend quit. He looks both like a child and a modern age man, which is what I can say about my God, the character design. Unless you're specifically designed as an old man, you do not look like an old man. Bloop, bloop. This is a tutorial and a half. What is in the red chest? I will fucking slay your parents. Let me jump up there, goddamn. 50 gold. Why do I have a chest on top of my fucking house? 10 different types of items. Wait, is that an achievement? Or is it just an in-game achievement? Well, I didn't have an achievement pop for it, so I think it's just an in-game achievement. This is like breaking pots in Zelda. God! This is like Zelda, but... You know what's funny? My favorite Zelda is probably not even one that most people played. My favorite Zelda is Twilight Princess. Skyward Sword was dog shit, but one of my friends fucking loved it. So apparently you can do any quest at any time and none are missable. Oh, that's a stamp. It stamped my quest. That's actually kind of neat. This game definitely has its own personality. Like, yeah, it's definitely copying some things. Zelda. And Final Fantasy. But it combines the two of those things while creating its own uniqueness, where it is not just a major ripoff, which is nice. Use of pink pine. What? Why is there pink fucking pine? That looks like a raid dungeon. Okay. So there's a shop. Is it this? Yeah, what is this? I don't know what the symbols in this game mean yet. Why? Hot lid. Oh my god. A pot lid as a weapon? Bandana. Wayfarer's clothes. Oh, so I can buy all three. I already have the Cypress stick. Up my defense. Yep. Bandana. Whipped. Wayfarer's clothes. Alrighty then. Take 3. I don't know why it's an option to buy the Cypress stick if you just can open a chest with it in it. That's one thing I hate about video games. It's like, it's a thing they do in games that just annoys the shit out of me. Wait, cobblestone greatsword? Nothing happens. What the fuck did that do? Oh. Equip that. Okay, so I can either use a great sword, or I can. Okay. Or I can use a shield and a sword. So there's weapon variety. Not a bad idea. That auto run is gonna fucking piss me off. At some point, it's gonna fuck me, and I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Like, it is already hampering with shit. I'm just like, oh no, just having a cool day. Accidentally click. Oh no. Oh. Is there a way to shut that shit off? Oh, there's a sprint button and it's good. It's just the trigger, but oh, does that feel satisfying. 6 gold coins. Ooh, the sprint feels fucking nice. Alright, Catholic Church, here's my pee-pee touch. How may the church... Here I was like, yo, fuck the church. You have to use the church to do everything. Are you fucking kidding me? You have to confess to the church to save? At least it's not confess to me all you've done, for you are a dirty sinner, you. It's confess to me all you have done, child, that I'm recorded in an adventure log. Why are you keeping records of my confessions? Oh god, it plays fucking church music when I save. I'm not sure how I feel about the fact. Like, it's both interesting and annoying. It makes sense, it's a fucking medieval age, but it's still, like, it's not the actual medieval age. Is that my big ass mama? Hope you have said all of your goodbyes. I didn't tell the girl bye.
One day you're just a little boy, the next you're getting ready to leave us. I only wish your grandfather could see what a fine young man you've become. To think, it's been so many years already since
Why are the two old men
found you
in this
floating
super skinny, super fat?
I mean, since he brought you to Cobblestone. We never thought there was anything out of the ordinary about you. You know who the Luminary was, of course. A legendary hero who saved the world from a terrible darkness.
I should probably adjust my mic. Well, no, it's adjusted fairly close. I need to just talk louder. That's my problem. My problem with my streams lately has been like, if I stream by myself, you know it's me talking. But if I stream with my friends, their audio quality comes through better than mine. And I don't know how to fix that because I'm on console. The only way I can think of how is just talking louder. And yeah, they probably most definitely talk louder than me because half the time I have to be mindful of the person whose house I'm living in.
We're supposed to believe that you're him reincarnated? Ha! I don't doubt old Chalky, of course, but it is a... Oh, when you meet the King of Heliodor, put in a good word for old Cobblestone, won't you, eh? If he finds out this is the village where the Luminary was raised, there might be something in it for us, if you catch my drift.
You cheeky old codger.
Oh, you are terrible. Trust you to be thinking about what you can get out of it.
Oh, no, I'm only joking, of course. The very thought. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Now, the fate that awaits you may well be one beyond anything we simple country folk can imagine. But you must allow us to offer what little assistance we can.
That is a horse.
And may this magnificent steed, You'll find Heliodor easily enough. Just...
You travel safely now.
So the only people who know I'm not actually from the village is the mom, the elder, and the girl who likes you.
Wait! Here. It'll keep you safe. I don't know what's in store for you out there. Take care.
One thing I hate about certain RPGs, it always introduces this childhood friend, and it's like, oh, she'll miss you. It either does nothing with that. I actually haven't seen an RPG do anything with that. Except for maybe Twilight Princess? Because the two love interests, ironically, were not Zelda in that game. It was the Twilight Princess herself and then your childhood friend. Who you most likely end up with because the Twilight Princess, is it Meridia? Something like that. She locks herself in her world. Horses are incredibly convenient way to cover large amounts of ground in very little time, but you'll need sometimes to enter areas that can only be explored on foot. A ring on one of the many summoning bells dotted around her day will soon bring faithful. Ah. Oh, how fast this bitch get up to? Ooh, there's some fish here. This feels good. This does. It's a very seamless game. Like, if it looks choppy, it's not. I got caught on that log there for a second, so yeah, there's that. I'm gonna fight enemies. Just see my horse, like, standing up, getting ready for a boxing match. But it takes no damage. Fuck you, slimes. 24 experience. So you can't ambush them while you're on your horse. Ah, so there's a trade-off. I wonder if... I don't think there's an agility stat in this game. So I wonder if the defense stat is attributed to that, which is why they're missing so much. Because the only changes are I switched to have a shield and a head thing to give me more defense. I haven't... I don't see it here. Slime drop, sleeping hibiscus, medical herb, precious pendant, map of Erdea. So what she gives me I can't equip? Oh, I can. Oh, it increases my defense. So she gives me my first charm. Absolute dog shit, but you know, it's kind of nice. Monsters up there will make mincemeat out of you. Assuming that's a high area. Shiva, did you get? Oh, what's the matter? You didn't like your pillow? You wanted to? You keep hearing noises from the middle rooms. Wait, did that thing try to jump me? Where the fuck did it go? Did it just descend to the heavens? What can I fight? Fight me, girl. Yeah! Stark Raven. Level 4. See, this is what grinding is supposed to feel like, dude. You could clear out 3 entire areas of enemies, and maybe, if you were really lucky and under level 50, maybe you could get half to a fourth. And that's one of the reasons I hate that game. Also, that game has gotcha game mechanics. Oh, did he run away? Did I hear him grunt because one ran away? Like he was actually upset about that? That's interesting. No, the game has gotcha game mechanics, which if you don't know what that means, it's a term used to mostly criticize like phone games. Gotcha game essentially means like the game got you, and yeah, that sounds simplistic, but basically it's like the game tricked you into gambling or spending real world money in order to beat shit in some way. So like a lot of games do it by like comparison. Oh, it's a fast travel item, but it's only to where I last was. No, basically a lot of games will do it by like, hey, you'll unlock this character if you do enough rolls or this weapon. So like basically it introduces gambling. It incentivizes it too. Another way to do it is like in-game items like potions and stuff you can only get through money or stuff like that. So what that game does is you can get cosmetics, both like dyes to dye your clothes and dyes to dye your clothes. Wait, what does that mean? What's that? Oh, the needles again. You can get dyes to dye your clothes. You can get like cosmetic outfits or cosmetic outfits for your weapon, so like your weapon looks like a new weapon. Which that does sound cool with the fact that you have to pay in-game, or not. There's no in-game currency. How it works is just like you have to use actual money, or if you log into the game consistently, you'll eventually get repeat items, and then start earning the currency. But that takes a bit, and is annoying. But also like upgrade items that you need can be completely bypassed by like things you can get from the gacha mechanics. Like you can just auto level up your sword from level 4 to 5, 5 being the cap, with one of the items from the gacha shit. So like it heavily incentivizes it. There are also EXP boosts, and if you're wondering why does a game need EXP boosts, it's because the game intended you to get to barely level 50 if you were lucky, but usually comes around the 40s. It made it really hard to get to 50. Everything past 50, even stupider. Like I've replayed the final fight, I can't level up, like I'm just grinding and grinding. Apparently, one of the best ways to cheese it is to like turn the difficulty so high that like every enemy is level 10, like 10 levels higher than you, and then just like grind them out. So like you can't level up in your base level once you reach 50 supposedly. Especially since like every enemy in the game only goes up to 30. Just really fucking stupid. Oh look. Oh, he runs away if he misses you. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Why did he disappear? Is that a bet? Did he just run away? So it looks like the flying ones don't really hit you all the time. They're probably more startled at you than you are at them. You have to either initiate the fight or force it to touch you. That looks like the Cactuar from Final Fantasy. Is that a pickle? That is legitimately like a walking pickle. A cruel cupper? So I got wings. Oh my god, the weapon flipped backwards and impelled it. That's kind of neat. But no, it's essentially like the game only ever intended for 50 to be the max. Then they introduced about maybe a month after the game released a bunch of enemies that were level like 60s, and then they released the 70s, stuff like that, like to actually fill the world, because the world did not have a lot of content. Still doesn't. Oh, did they just run? Okay, I guess someone just run. So like, you're like, oh, okay, well maybe I can just grind up the game. Unless you crank up the difficulty, which this isn't like common knowledge. Why do they keep running away? Is it because I'm too high level? Apparently when you reach a certain level, they're just afraid of you. Yeah, basically it's just nearly impossible for me to level up. Like, there's no achievements to do those, so it doesn't incentivize me even playing it. And I guess I can wait for DLC and see if things change, but like, it's pretty shitty. Oh, and the best ending for that game, there's a character in it that is utter garbage. And what I mean by that is like, I believe it's called a tsundere. Whichever anime bitch loves you, but she like punches you all the time, that kind of shit. I think it's called tsundere? Yandere is the creepy one that wants to stab you. Tsundere is the one that punches you and is a bit more like aggressive and tries to play off with love. A kudere is a bashful one, or like emotionless. I think it's the emotionless one. They're basically emotionless. Personalities and stuff. Well, basically, she just treats you like dog shit. And, like, the worst part is like, she doesn't have any friends. She's just this fucking awful. You know what? This could work. Me just ranting about video games while playing this. I was worried about playing an RPG, but, like, there's so much quirkiness to this game. And the leveling isn't atrocious, like the SAO game. That's the reason I didn't stream it. Like, dude, I was just miserable the entire time. I wasn't talking. I had, like, 3 different things playing in the background. Like, the reason I haven't streamed for the last 2 weeks is just a shit game. It's a shit game that I just want to beat. I honestly need to go back through and beat the final DLC of Gun Gun. That is so funny. Because I still haven't done that yet. But no, basically there's this shitty character. There's this shitty character who, she's had a shitty life. Her dad died. Her family was dishonored. And like I said, basically religion and if a character is attacked a lot or undergoes certain other trials and tribulations, they'll eventually enter an inverted state known as being pepped up. Boost their martial might for a while. Gee, what are you smelling? Nothing lasts forever. After several turns have passed, they lose this glow and go back to being normal. However, any characters who are prepped when a battle ends will still be when the next... Oh, okay, that's gonna cool. I think I took too much damage. And now I'm prepped. Yeah, well, she treats you like shit, even though you're like the only person in the game who's good to her, which is already aggravating. Yes, I get it. It's like a type of person in the video, or a person in the anime. You're like, oh, we like that kind of girl. That's fine. I'm not even against that type of person in animes. Like, I generally like them if they're handled properly, like an actual is. The problem is like, basically she's in like a forced marriage, she's trying to get her honor back, she's trying to go through like sword skill. Basically, it follows some of the plot of the Alicization, but after the part where they beat the administrator, like, Yugo doesn't die, Kirito only goes into a coma for like 5 minutes instead of like 6 months of in-game time, which would be half a day in the real world. There is no like end war. Apparently he prevents the final stress test. A bunch of shit changes. Basically they just like find a way to bring the administrator back and make her the bad guy again, and they just throw in like a bunch of characters they made just for the game, which isn't terrible, but like, oh, so if you sneak up behind them, it'll say they didn't notice your approach. Yeah, but anyway, like, you go through the game and, like, you basically kill their god, which is the AI administrator of the game. And that becomes the point of contention, the thing that makes her doubt you. Well, she gets this ability to, like, control people's minds. Basically, there's a bunch of copies of real-world people. They're just thrown into the game, and she has the ability to control their minds and make them think they're a savior. Force them to do shit against their will. If you're already, like, that's like rape, but with the mind, you would be right. And there was already a point of contention in the game where it covers the whole, like, rape thing, where, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically was like, fuck this, broke his eye and had to get it repaired because the girls were literally about to get raped, which was like the second rape plotline in that. By the way, that game adds an entirely new plotline for rape that didn't exist in the main series. So if you think Sword Art Online has a lot of rapey shit in it, they're not done. Except that wasn't even done by the series people. That was done by... One second, I'm trying to figure it out. To the next level, 15. That was done by... Is that a bunny rabbit? What's it called? By Nick Corn. But it's done basically like this is one of the... They give studios the ability to, like, use certain things. So Shiva, if you're not gonna lie down, lie down. You're fiddling with my clothes and you're starting to piss me off. Lie down. Lie down. You're moving around too much. You were literally just sleeping, then you got fitsy, then you started smelling, and now you're just freaking the fuck out. Calm down. But basically, like, each company makes their own SAO game. So, like, if I remember right, there was the company that made it for the PSP. There was the company that made Hollow Realization. Really good, really good. And basically, every company just copied the engine that Hollow Realization did and did its own thing. And they just had, like, permission from the studio or whatever. Sheila, lie down. Quit smelling. Maybe you need to go potty. You do, apparently. But, like... New spell earned. 3 skill points earned. What do you use skill points for? Earn some skill points. New spells and abilities. Character builder from the MISC menu. Before I go into this, I'm going to continue a little rant. Yeah, well, basically, like, this character just, like, mind controls people to do everything. Apparently the first one she made with, she just told her to be her friend, but the person actually did it of their own volition. It wasn't actually against their mind. She didn't know that. And then she started commanding them to, like, create an army to help you fight off the administrator, stuff like that. It was actually pretty decent. But then the person who's helping the administrator, fucking loses his shit. He recruits her by telling you kill the administrator. And in that world, the administrator is God. Underneath her is her church. You must follow them. If you don't, you will either die because your brain will fucking shut itself off, or they will send someone to kill you, or punish you for breaking the law, which is almost impossible to achieve unless you break your left eye. Really weird. Or you're Kirito and you don't have to follow the rules of that world because you're not originally from it. So yeah, basically everybody blindlessly follows her, and then, like, a few of you found out she was bad, and then everybody else found out she was bad, and everybody was okay with it, but she was the one who was kind of kept out of the loop, because if you find out too much shit that, like, contradicts stuff, or, like, something that can really fuck with your head, you just die from that, which is essentially a stress test. I'm gonna read this real quick. Character builder is where you can use skill points, new spells. So I can unlock shit. Swords, great swords. Sword mastery. Apparently can't get to that yet. Luminary. I'm getting pepped up. I need 8. Flame Slash. That's actually kind of cool. So there is a tree. I wonder if it gets expanded or if this is all I can get. Level 5. Which is funny because it took me about 10 hours to get to level 5 if I remember correctly. Just because the start is such a slog and there's so many tutorials in the game. Yeah, I know. Basically, they find out that, hey, she finds out, hey, you killed the god, and you try to tell her, but it fucks with her mind, so you tell her to forget about it, so she kind of does for the time being. Well, she thinks you're hiding something from her by doing that, and you're actually protecting her. And she turns against you with that evil dude. And it was basically like, go fuck yourself. The bunny coin's really cute. So she betrays you after asking you a question like, hey, if you have to choose your values or your friends, who would you choose? To save your values or save your friends? And uncharacteristically, Kirito tells her he would choose his values, which is weird because in the anime he is definitely proven otherwise as a character. So then she's like, okay. So then she focuses on restoring the prestige of her house. So if I notify a bunch of them, I'll find them. If I sneak up on them, and yeah, so she starts betraying you, and then she like threatens to genocide all the people under her control. That's a hat. So you just get random items. That is cool. Bandana. That's 20. Better. That's better. I can hear them fucking hopping. Is there not a way to pause this game? Just like pause? Doesn't feel like it. But no, so she betrays you, threatens to literally force everybody to commit suicide. And, no, I'm not fucking kidding. All the people under her command, she threatens to have them commit suicide. Holds you at a standstill, like does a bunch of fucked up shit. Her guys are apparently like using civilians as bait to bait out monsters and a bunch of other shit, which supposedly is explained at the end of the game, as this was done by the crazy dude who was helping the administrator, not by her to make her look better. But like when you told her of this, she's like, we got the job done. So she is held responsible for that. She gets a redemption arc in the end. Redemption arc is shit. It's not how you handle redemption arcs for characters. This game is already a million times better, and I am less than 2 hours in. I am an hour and 14 minutes in, and I have been dicking around and just grinding.
It can be risky heading into the great outdoors if you aren't familiar with the basics. See the remains of that fire over there?
Give me
Well,
a tutorial.
when you spot
Juicy.
one of those, it means you can set up camp and
What?
rest
No
your
big plans?
weary
No hot
bones.
date? What are you doing? It's New Year's.
To settle down for the night, just go up to... What's that? You're worried about being
what'd you
attacked
say?
by monsters while you sleep? Oh,
I couldn't
ye
hear
of
you. Your
little
audio
faith.
didn't really come through. Did you hear what I said? I said, what are you doing online, Juicy? No hot date for the New Year's?
That statue over there is chock full of hope, and that's not all. You can pray to... Anyway, you'll need to get used to what campsites
I got off of
look
work
like
and I
how
didn't
to
have
find
plans
them.
for the day.
After all, you'll be relying
I
on
fucked
them
with
whenever
one
you're
waitress
out in
in
the
Applebee's
wilderness.
in college, like my first year there, and I will never hear the end of it. It's not even a bad thing. There are definitely some attractive Applebee's waitresses. It could be worse. I'm still confused at why that is the thing that has stuck for you.
It's like my old dad always said. Keen campers can continue... Well, that's all.
You weren't there for that. You heard about it. Do you actually know the story behind it? So you know how Hunter has a problem? Used to have a problem before he just decided he's just done with white bitches. I like black women, yeah. I always did, but like I didn't have options. There was one in high school, but she kind of got away, and then there was one in college, but she turned out to be actually a psycho bitch. But less of like actually being crazy, and more of like being a hypocrite with religion type stuff. So like not usually the kind of thing I kind of. Like, I'll admit, I've gone for some crazy women. You can attest to this. Our fucking... I wish I streamed back in the day when we played fucking Uno. I bet that would have fucking shined a light on our personalities. But, no, basically what happened was, when I was up at Hayes, I hadn't really hooked up with anyone, because I was working till, like, 8 in the morning, every night, working from midnight to 8, and then from 8 to 3 I would go to school, and then I would pass the fuck out till midnight, rinse, repeat. I was never around daylight hours. So I was like, God, you know, I was getting really upset. This girl kept coming into our gas station. That was back when I worked at the Lowe's up in Hayes. And I was like, man, she's kind of attractive. And she had a rugged body. The face wasn't the best, but the body was really good. The face wasn't terrible, but it was just like, it could have been better for what the body was. And I just go, basically I was like, okay, you know, whatever. So I told my manager, who was like also my next door neighbor, I was like, dude, that girl's kind of attractive. He's like, don't go for her. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, she's fucking crazy. And I'm like, I don't believe you. The reason I didn't believe him, this wasn't me just being like, oh, fuck it. He says she's crazy, she's probably not crazy. Or like, ooh, I want crazy. It was more along the lines of like, he had done some, like, he wasn't a bad guy, but he had like played games with a girl. So when he told me somebody was crazy and she was a girl, what it made me think is she was a girl who maybe wanted to get serious and he just wanted to play games. That's what I thought he meant. What he actually meant was a lot worse. So I go, I asked this girl if she's single. She's single. This is on a shift he's not working, so he can't like fucking yell at me for it, because I felt like he would. See, I had this thing where he was going after a bunch of women and playing with their feelings. I kind of felt like she might have been one of them. She was not. So I wanted to do it when it was like just the other guy working, because he won't judge me for shit. And he doesn't know anybody, so like he's just gonna be like, okay. Also, he can keep a secret, so he's not gonna tell the manager. So I'm like, okay. So I ask her out. She's like, yeah. So like we start. Well, instead of us going on a date, I just ended up going to her house, and I'm really confused. I was like, this is usually not how this is supposed to go, but I don't date a lot, so I wouldn't know. What? Yeah. I can't say anything about that because I literally did one about a week ago, so. Told you. What do you do then, motherfucker? I haven't heard you date anybody since fucking Sisters. But yeah, I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not completely ashamed of it. No, I want it. I was thinking a lot. And like, one of the reasons I'm attracted to black women is, dude, white women, they like, well, they'll hide their crazy and then they'll let that shit spring out when you're already like committed. Black women, they let you know shit up front. That's also why I like Jewish women, because they tell you how it is. If your money's their money. Okay, fuck off. Basically, so what happens is I ask her out. And then I end up going to her house. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So she like plays with me and gets kind of flirty, and I could tell I'm like, this is probably just gonna be a mistake. Well, it felt like the first night all she was gonna do was play a game. So I eventually I went home. She made it clear that like she said she was gonna do anything until we've been going out for a little while. She said it, but her mannerisms said the exact opposite. And I was like, I feel like the next time we get together, we're gonna end up fucking. Sure as shit. Second time we get together, we actually did go out on a date. We went out to a bar, and we went out to drink, and then, no, we didn't go to a bar. We went to a sports bar that was in town. Applebee's is a sports bar, so you can kind of get me on that, but the sports bar was actually a really good bar in town. It's a college town, so they just kind of mentioned it. But it was really good. They serve really good Mexican food and stuff, so I really liked it. And it's like the town sports bar because it also like literally completely caters to the college. They have like a crazy challenge if you want to, you can get your entire meal for free if you eat like crazy wings, stuff like that. So like all in all, not terrible. And they've got some damn good food. They got some really good alcohol too. So like I get a pitcher of alcohol. Well, like I'm not like a glass, a full fucking pitcher. And oh yeah, you can get them by the pitcher, and because she was driving and I didn't give a shit, and she had made it fairly clear, like when it started that night, that we were probably gonna do it. So basically, she gets me shit-faced. Well, I'm not shit-faced drunk, but I'm buzzed by that point. There's more alcohol involved afterwards. We leave the place after these old dudes overhear us talking about some naughty shit, and like one of them comes over and he goes, ooh, and I'm like, that's fucking creepy. Which it was. So we go to one of her friends' houses, and I'm like, oh, maybe we're gonna hang out with her friends. No, she just goes over there to get like an entire bottle of wine. And I'm like, oh. We go back to her place, and I'm like, okay, things are about to happen. She tells me that we can't have sex unless I drink the entire bottle of wine. So I drink the entire bottle of wine. I had 2 pitchers of alcohol before the bottle of wine. Remember how I told you the first night she was playing games? Well, the second night she was also playing games. She won't have sex immediately after I drink the bottle. She makes me wait like an hour or 2, and we just watch TV after that. It wasn't until after the events occurred that I realized she was waiting for the alcohol to set in so that way nothing would happen and she could play games with me. Well, I was buzzed and fucked up, so like, it's not like I could make clear, conscious things during that time. But it was like, yeah, so that shit happened, and I was pretty pissed off. And we were about to go at it. We were, and like literally, like mid go at it is like the time frame it exactly worked because it just gave out. Like I barely started and it gave out. So I was like, well, this isn't fun. And like, she didn't even seem disheveled about it. Like you could very clearly tell, like, this might have been planned. And like before then, she was already pissing me off because she was making comments about like how she wanted to do specific things, and she had guidelines and rules, and like, oh my god, dude, if you do that shit before you're about to have sex, like, you've already ruined the mood. So like, even without the alcohol, I wasn't 100%, you know what I mean? Like, I had already been like pretty much just like, well, okay then. This is gonna be boring or stupid. She basically like pulled a basic white chick thing and just pissed me off. So I was like, I was already out of it. So like, I don't know if it was completely the alcohol or the fact that maybe I have an attraction to her. So yeah, shit apparently happened. That's for and I was just like, whatever. And I left. I called my brother. I did not know he was. And I called my brother, and I was just being a jackass about it because he's done dumber shit, and I just wanted to be funny. I like called him for the meme, and I was like, dude, I got whiskey dick. I'm like, don't tell nobody. But of course, like, he was in the party with Sean and all that. Well, I didn't care if he told somebody, dude. My sexual escapades are still more impressive than just about everybody else's, Bryce's included. So I'm not going to be upset about that. Well, so that shit happened, which is funny though, because I shit you not, the week after that happened might have been the best week of my life. The week I was completely leaving Hayes. Because I had sex with 3 different girls within that entire week. There was this really hot MILF. There was this really hot, just of legal age girl. And then there was this one girl who was about my age, who had her own place. So, plus. So, they don't know about that because I'm not Bryce. I'm not going to tell them about the entirety of my sex life. You probably know more about it than they do. But that's just because you were around from the beginning. You were around from the beginning, and I'm also not going to go into everything. So, I'm not gonna brag about it and be like, yeah. But I'm also not gonna like just whenever like somebody calls me out on my shit, I'm not gonna disagree. The one I did recently wasn't a keeper. It wasn't like super great overall. It wasn't terrible, but like I definitely could have done better. It was just, you know, a one and done. I'm just waiting to get to where I'm near a city and I can finally meet some people, because like my problem is I'm in a rural area. I'm not religious. I'm not white. That's 2. That's 3. So yeah, that's essentially it. It's just I don't go out or do a bunch of stuff here because there's not a lot to do. So of course, like, yeah, I don't have a dating life. Bryce brags about his dating life or whatever, but it's like, dude, he literally dicked around, didn't work in high school, had 0 fucking money, now he's in debt to his school, he fucking flunked out, all this shit, and now he's like, just now finally got a job and getting shit done, he's already wanting to quit that job and go to another job, and he's stealing pigs from his current job. And he's like, why is my dating life better than yours? I'm like, because you go around and dick around and get high with all these motherfuckers, and half the people you date are the people you get high with. One of the girls being his actual fucking stalker from when he was in elementary, and he still doesn't admit that. He's so insecure about it. The other day I was making a comment about like a YouTuber, like how he's a piece of shit, and like he's in his 30s and he talks shit on his friends on Twitter. And I'm like, yeah, that's real fucking shit. And he took offense. He's like, you used to do similar shit. I have never said anything negative about anybody on social media, except in a single tweet that I made, and it wasn't directed at anybody at all that I knew. Like, I have my Twitch Twitter, and on it I put, like, this bitch came into the store with, like, 4 she either had triplets or quadruplets, I can't remember. And I was like, I bet that bitch's pussy probably looks like the fucking, gaping dragon from Dark Souls. that is the only thing I've ever put on Twitter. The Twitter does not have, because I thought it was funny. Honestly, I should read some of my tweets. They're funny. I haven't tweeted on it in like probably a year because I did it in like the span of a month and then just lost interest. You know me, I try shit out, but like I normally don't like just stick to it. But no, it I don't do anything. Apparently, back when I was like 12 or 11, I went after a girl he liked, and he still holds a grudge about it. I have no memory or recollection. I bet I probably did it, but it wasn't significant enough to be remembered. Apparently, he still remembers that and is comparing that mentality to be equal of that of a 30-year-old man. So I was just like, whatever. Yeah, so that's how he's been, and like, yeah, he's my brother, but I'm gonna be honest, if Bryce wasn't my brother, I probably would not play video games with him. Like, there are times when I've just literally kicked him out of the parties or the groups because he's done such dumb shit that I'm just like, I'm done with you. Like, one of the reasons I like having you in parties with him is just like you call on his shit. And it's funny because like for the longest time Sean hated you for calling him out on his shit, but I think he's starting to finally warm up to it. I think you talking in the chat has probably definitely helped. But I also think like he has a friend named Mac who is like his equivalent of you. The problem is Mac is not funny. So when you're an asshole, usually half the time you don't mean the things you say, and you just say them to get a laugh or try to get a rile out of somebody. Mac just says shit to be an asshole, and he's not funny. He's also not a good person. And he's not self-aware of anything he does. So like, that was Sean's best friend up until recently, and now apparently I am. His next one is Drew, and the other day, Drew literally vented to me about a bajillion things that Sean does that pisses him off, and Sean doesn't know about. So I'm like, oh fuck. I think with him doing that, it made me realize, like, besides me, you're the only other person who calls him out on his shit. At least in parties. Not saying he does a lot of bad stuff, but like he does have a tendency to get a little over emotional sometimes. But you're the only other person who calls that out. Especially now that Josiah is no longer a part of the group, but like, honestly, fuck that. He basically told me that like I owed him a bunch of shit. And like, apparently since he helped me in college with one class, by the way, I didn't even finish that semester. Apparently since he helped me with homework and I paid him for it in booze, that like I owed him a bunch of shit, like, and that like apparently he meant a bunch to me and a bunch of other stuff, and like I wouldn't be anywhere without him, which is funny because I'd only had an introduction into him for about 1.5 years at most, and I hadn't only met him in person maybe once or twice. Like, just the ego on that shit. I was just like, wow. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so, no, that's essentially it. It's just... I missed you for a while, though, buddy. I talk in the chat. Oh my god. Yeah, I was gonna say, the last time I talked in the chat, you called me a taco walker. I didn't reply to it because I was like, damn, he got me. Okay, I'm going through my Twitter right now. Apparently, the last tweet before this picture that I definitely need to send you is, if Barack was gay, would we call him Barack Obama? Walking with your hands behind your back doesn't give off elegance. It gives off the I'ma grab a kid by the snatch feeling, especially if you're old. Here's one when I got sick. It says, so I just got an upper respiratory infection and my doc says I should take it easy. I tell him I work 8 hours and my job's not hard, and then I play video games. I am already at easy. And he goes, well, can you take it any easier? And I said, I can try, doc. I can try. Here's one. So a lady bought a pregnancy test and marijuana test at the same time, and I said, if you are pregnant, that's going to be one chill baby. And that's actually something I did do when I worked at Dollar Tree. All of these are back when I worked at Dollar Tree. I've had 2 jobs since then. Do priests that have to spank boys in Catholic schools for misbehavior consider it business or pleasure? There's a lot of Taco Bell related things in here. It's like my relationship with Taco Bell. Me, Taco Bell, and then the groceries rotting in the fridge in the background. Moment of silence for my asshole, and it's just the super spicy fucking nachos. If your order is as complicated as Big Smoke from GTA, maybe you should run into a volcano, because that would be the only way you could burn off that fat. Just saw a man with 12 marijuana drug test kits. His eyes looking like Jar Jar Binks. Jeeps are basically poor people Hummers. No need to use a vehicle to show how big your dick is. We know, micro. You can grab anything at a grocery store. Foods, electronics, kitchenware, and unsupervised children. There's really something for everyone. I forgot about that. I always get pissed off when I work at grocery stores. Because, like, there's all these fucking parents. It's usually white people and Hispanics. Usually never any other group. If a black woman's child is misbehaving, they will beat the fuck out of her. That's something I respect. Respect. I'm drinking. I'm drinking right now, so my speech might start getting a little slurred every now and then. But yeah, no. I'm only like. I'm drinking hard cider. When you decide to cool your house to 60 degrees, but wake up the next day with your balls frozen to your leg. This was back when we were friends with Ragnar, or Thomas. I said my friend's so southern he can fall asleep and never drop his beer. I think it's funny when people make out in the lines at the dollar store. It just shows they're of less value and worth than the merchandise. I know Americans snicker at the thought of describing eating out as eating pussy, but do you ever think the Chinese say that they prefer their pussy with more hair and a tail? When you see a girl you were with in the past married and husband seems so proud, you snicker as you had early access and he got his hands on it years after its big release. Do gay cowboys hide their emergency dildos in their boots? If so, is the slang they want to use it, I got a snake in my boot? If you're bisexual and you fuck a dude who fucks the girl of your dreams, thanks to the transitive property, so have you. You're welcome. That one was actually a good one. Dude, I just randomly think of shit and I put it on my Twitter. That was all I used it for, like just random shower thoughts. The fear in your eyes as your blind dates in a bar with a black light. You see your semen on your hands, followed by the terror in hers as it's your first date and she's got semen on hers. I got that one because while I was at Hayes, there was bars with black lights, which is a horrible idea. It was completely lit up by black lights. Are you realizing how bad of an idea that is? Considering how black lights show semen. So like, that's literally why I made that joke. Because apparently, like, one of the times when I went in there, I just had sex with this girl. Like, maybe the night before. I thought I had washed up good, but, like, you could tell there was still, like, a droplet on my hand, and I was like, oh, that's gross. Well, I look over, this chick's got this huge fucking stain right next to her lips. And I was like, oh, fuck. That was just, like, a joke I thought of. Because I was not on a date with that girl or anything. I was just in the bar with a buddy, and like we saw her, and like I looked at my hand and I was like, oh shit. And I looked at her and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, here's the one. Is it wrong of me to think a woman with triplets pussy might look like the gaping dragon from Dark Souls? So the pull-out method needs a new analogy. I bring you Jenga. Is it illegal for a pedophile to take pictures of himself as a child to entertain him in the later years, or just high-level IQ? And then at the end of it, I put, you know you're thinking about that shit. Me and my friends are trying to push a new movement, all our own. It's to change dick pic to phallic photograph. I remember that one. That was a quote I borrowed from Sean. I will check it here in a second. Oh, is he saying dumb shit? Alright, one sec. I'm about to open it. Alright. Alright, that was essentially all my Twitter. I haven't done a lot of shower thoughts lately. Nope, that's not my Twitter, that's my Twitch. Okay, where the fuck is it? Snapchat. With my one viewer. Is my one viewer a bot? Oh, fuck. What the fuck was that? Was he just talking like he was from fucking medieval age? Talking about having a shit? Why is this what you type? Because my asshole is ablaze and the whole world should know? Lol, not the world, only you guys. Newsflash, no one cares about your asshole. Lol, Unholy does. Well, he's brown, so I'm sure he's been up. No, Juicy, he meant Unholy. Well, he's white and British. That's the Neon Kitty. Oh, thought you were talking about Hunter. Oh well. You fucking... Did he just Shakespeare his shit? That I did. Rice, you scare me sometimes. I scared my therapist, but I scare him because I don't pull out of his daughter. What the fuck? Rice, you mean his son, right? Juicy, you bastard. No, his son is like 18. That's gross. His daughter's 7. That's like pristine. Oh my god! What the fuck am I reading? His daughter's 7. That's like pristine age. The younger they are, the better the hormone. Oh my god. She's not even old enough to bleed, is what you put. Oh, trust me. She is. It just takes some effort. What the fuck? Bryce. I don't even care if that's a joke. The amount of effort he put into that joke is terrifying. Would you not agree? That is a little much. You don't force it. Just look at Pornhub. They took down all the types of fucking child porn videos. You know what's funny? They took down down a lot that were legal though. They took down like 3/4 of their website. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. I've honestly not been using Pornhub for like the last year. I mostly use 3 websites, 2 of which are hentai. One of them is I just use Xvideos because it's like very blatant and they won't take their shit down because it's like a public domain. So like they don't give a fuck. Although it's not exactly like I'm hunting down young girl videos. No, the other two I use one it's called Hentai Haven and I use the other one it's called Haname, which is funny because Hentai Haven got destroyed and they brought it back as a fan deal. So now it, like Xvideos, is like public domain stuff. It's not been privatized like Pornhub, but like you have to pay for certain videos, so like you can get good quality shit on it. You can even get like paid videos from Pornhub that are completely free because some motherfucker put it on there. I never knew who she was until Sean told me about her. Sean apparently has like a big fucking interest in her. Just like, more power to you, brother. It's like, I admire the girl for her talent to make an Ahigo face. I will give her that. But like, other than that, what she got going for her? She's a basic white bitch and brings nothing else to the table. He's actually spending New Year's with what I believe to be the EMS crew that he works with. See, it was funny. Me and Sean were actually making a joke today. Apparently, they brought a person back to life, and he's like, "Well, they're like, hey, we brought you back to life," and then the dude goes, "Sadly." And I was like, "Sean, is it that moment that you should have taken the fucking shock paddles and been like, clear, go back to where you came from, motherfucker." This game is turn-based in Orange, but you know what? It's actually pretty cool. I like it. Well, I was playing that SAO game, but like, you know how we were actually enjoying Gun Gale, but like fucking that one, it's called SAO Alicization Lycoris. It's fucking dog shit. It has like almost zero redeeming qualities. Like, I only played it so that way I could beat it, and then I looked for achievements at 100%ing or doing specific things. Honestly, I would 100% the game if I really wanted to and really liked the game, but the game is a gacha game for console because you have to spend actual in-game currency and our actual currency to buy EXP boosts, which make it possible to pretty much level up past level 50. There are ways to grind it, but like the amount of work you have to put in just to level up one time is stupid. Whereas I play this and I just kill shit in the field. It's like, hey, you leveled up. While it's simplistic, I admire the simplicity. Oh, they're all just running away. Apparently I'm too high level for these motherfuckers. Apparently I have to directly run into them to fight them now. That's actually cool. Apparently if you're higher level than the enemies in this game, they run away from you when they spot you. They'll also run away from you in battle too, because they're like, oh shit. I like that. It's actually pretty cool. Like, ah, he's got a sword. He could turn it on fire. Fuck. No, it was funny. I was hoping somebody would get online today, because I just remembered a funny ass story. And I was like, man, I want to tell one of my friends. And I'm like, I haven't even told Juicy this story. So it's funny that you're the one that pops on, because you're the one I wanted to tell it to most. Basically, they tell me that every time, but like, they still stick around. So, something's bringing you back, bitch. You have friends, you just refuse to admit which ones you are that are, you son of a bitch. Do you want to play a game together? I can get to a saving point. What do you mean I didn't want to play earlier? You popped out of the party, we started talking. Down to play a game if you would still like to. If not, I guess I'll continue Dragon Quest. Alrighty then. I'm not, dude. Like I said, there's a reason I don't like white bitches. I'm not gonna play this cock and ball torture shit. I'm not gonna fucking let you fucking like buy a fucking string to shit. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna put in the work. I'm not gonna pull this. Oh, I want to play hard to get thing. Cause like Juicy, I'm gonna be honest. If you were a white chick, you'd have that shit down. Cause you're like, you're not my friend. But why won't you play with me? It's funny though. Out of all your old friends and the people you used to play with, I am the only one who has never gotten generally mad at you. No matter how hard you try. There was one time Bryce got mad at you, and I was like, well, Juicy's technically in the wrong for the one time, but Bryce took that as a solid victory. Instead, it was really me just dishing out that Bryce has never been right until this one time, and he still didn't get it. I don't remember. It was so insignificant, it really didn't matter. It was like over something like so simplistic that you just had slightly off, and he knew a little bit more of. It was like a fact that like most people don't give a fuck about, and you had just said something and he corrected you, and you were like, I believe your exact words were like, I don't give a fuck. And he's like, well, you're wrong. And then he goes on to explain it. And then I'm like, technically he is right. And then he's like, yeah. And I'm like, for once. And then he just tuned that part out. No, but in all seriousness, do you want to play again? Fucking thought. All right, let me. I just got to a save point and then I started leading it because I was waiting. But I was like puppy guarding the save point, waiting for you just to clear it, so I could just be like, all right, fuck it. What game are you feeling? Yeah, there just hasn't been a consistent, like, this year has been a shit year for just co-op games, wouldn't you agree? Do you have the new Ghost Recon? No, okay. I guess it's based on what you have, because technically I have more games than you. Which is funny because I'm Game Share. I have more games than you in the fact that, like, yes, I have the Game Share and you have Game Pass, so like technically you have a lot more games than me. But like a lot of the games on the Game Pass aren't great. But I recently like went through a bunch of the sales this year and just started fucking stockpiling games. That's the only reason why. Because you'd normally beat me otherwise. Also, you haven't been on as much this year, so that's why you've fallen behind. Alright, list off your games and we will figure out what best suits our needs. Okay, Alright, that's a small list that we can definitely breeze through really quickly. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you. Apparently I have like 180 games installed and like 80 games not installed. Yeah, I have a lot of memory because I have those 2 extra 2 terabyte hard drives. So I just installed fucking everything. I was like, bring it, bitch. And then there was like 1 or 2 games that was like, all right. I'm your hard drive now. Yeah, like Red Dead. GTA. Oh my god, Modern Warfare. It's funny because Ryan and Luis love the 2v2 mode in the old Modern Warfare better than the new one. But I'm like, well, since they added it to the new one, I'm deleting Modern Warfare. And they're like, why? Like, because it takes up so much fucking memory space that playing one game mode does not dignify me keeping it in my fucking hard drive. They finally added it to Cold War, the 2v2 mode. Do you have Cold War? Yeah, I thought you did. We definitely have Cold War, so that's an option. So Deep Rock Galactic and Cold War so far. Yeah, it's a little slow. Honestly, I kind of want to go through some Fallout 76. I don't know if that's like scandalous thing to say, but like they did add a bunch of shit, and I'm down for a game we could just dig around. So that's definitely an option up there if you're down for it as well. Technically, the game never had like an end game thing, so I beat the Treasure DLC, which was the first part of the 2 faction DLCs. It introduced like the treasure system where you can like get really good items and cheese them and shit. And then there's supposed to be a dungeon that I still haven't done that I need to find, which I'd be interested to go through with you. Apparently there's like rare shit. It's like the only dungeon in the game or something like that. They've added basically it's like the raiders versus the people. You can choose which side you're on. They've also added 2 AI companions that don't follow you around, but they live at your base. But only one can live at your base at a time, which is stupid. The astronaut is definitely the best one. But they basically introduced 2 different quest lines that you can do that are somewhat interesting. And now they've just introduced the Brotherhood of Steel DLC. So it's getting up there. So keep going. Pretty sure I deleted that. Because we beat it together, didn't we? I was like, we beat it on mine, and then we went back through and beat it on yours. I need to let my dog outside. Honestly, GTA added a new heist. That is definitely an option. Why does the Master Chief Collection sound good to me? Maybe because we made the fact that we both went through all the Halos on Legendary multiple times with different skulls because we're insane. We do? I thought we finished it together. One sec, my headset connected. We're digging around with shit. I've beaten World, but I'm on Iceborne. I've beaten it technically. No Man's Sky is kind of a little boring. My major complaint with it. Monster Hunter World Iceborne, I've beaten pretty much everything, so like I could definitely carry you through if you have the expansion. I don't know if you do, but like the only thing after you beat the game is like 4 super hard raid bosses, so we'd need like 3 people to definitely do those with, and I can't do them on my own. They're a pain in the ass, and they're not required, so probably not that one. I forgot there was even an online mode to that. Press Resident Evil 5. Didn't we go through all that together and we got to the boulder scene and you couldn't fucking do it? So we had to both do it singly and we couldn't get the achievement for beating it co-op because of that shit. Yeah, remember you were falling off the cliff, you had to press the button to climb yourself up, and for some reason it wasn't working. Well, I had to do the boulder scene and punch the boulder as Chris. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason I don't know what was going on, but you couldn't do the button thing to pull yourself up when you were playing as a black chick. So you just kept dying and dying and dying. So we had to do it on our own. And that cost us the achievement of going all the way through it together. After that, I did it. Fatality? You mean Fatal Bullet? Fatality! I didn't know SAO and Mortal Kombat had a crossover. I knew Accelerated World and SAO did. The Hunt color. Still have the original Wildlands. I deleted that shit. I've got the new one. Here pretty soon I'm going to finally go through Division 2 because Sean's finally going to make the leap, so then we'll have at least 3 people to do raids with. I'm not even max level on that. Oh, you never bought it? Division 2? Oh, that's right, you played on the free days with me, didn't you? Because you had early access. Gotcha. So I'm thinking, so it looked like COD, Halo. There was one in the beginning that I can't remember that was death. Oh, Fallout. COD, Halo, or Fallout. Seems like there are 3 options. Let me make sure I have Halo installed. Do you have Watch Dogs 2? Do you have Watch Dogs 2? I just got Watch Dogs. Sean wants to go through Watch Dogs 2. While it is only 2 players, we can interact and dig around. It's essentially an open world where we can dig around like it's GTA. I need to go through that one. So if you get it, I can download it at the same time. Because I already bought the brand new one. Well, it's on sale still. It's on sale still, I think so. Until like midnight tonight. So Watch Dogs Legion. The Watch Dogs Legion is on sale tonight at least. I don't know about 2. 2 might still be full priced. If it is, fuck that. No, Legion's 3. But it doesn't exist in any of the order because it's like its own thing. It's separate. It's not really involved with a character or storyline. It's its own thing. Like, you can recruit anybody in the world, play as anybody in the world, stuff like that, and just dick around and have a good time. You can be an old lady if you want to be. But the online mode for that one hasn't released yet, but it's on sale until, I think, midnight tonight. So maybe try to snatch. Definitely Legion. If 2 is cheap, probably try to get that. Because I have that. I don't know when the multiplayer drops, but when the multiplayer drops, it's supposed to be 4-player. I think the multiplayer is supposed to drop here in a month. What do you want, Shiva? What do you want, you big bitch? She probably does. That's all she wants. All she wants is love. Her and my 4 duckies. That's all they want. Just cuddle love. What's wrong with my ducks? Man, they are sweethearts. I'll have you know. They are sweet peas, and I love them unconditionally. Let's see, other than that, I can't think of a whole lot of co-op games. I'm gonna end my stream, I'll go through the store, see if anything new is about to come out that I might get excited for.